Hi guys, and I am in an Aston Martin DB11. Let's start this baby up. There's no emotion chip control key fob thingy that you have to insert anymore. Now there's just this crystal start button. Press the start button. Whoa, there you go. Now, this is the V8 version. Okay, the V8 version was introduced later, and in fact, it's pretty much the engine from the Mercedes AMG GT, basically. It's the 4-litre V8, puts out 503 brake horsepower and 513 pounds-foot of torque. And that's good enough to get it from 0 to 100 in just 4 seconds and onto a top speed of 301 kilometers per hour. The price of this car, well, if you have to ask. But since you are asking, alright, it's about 785,000 dirhams, manufacturer recommended retail price. I'm sure there's fluctuations and depending on options and stuff like that. That's about $214,000. Now, by the way, this V8 engine comes in this car, and the Volante, which is a convertible version of this, which has just been introduced, only comes with this V8 version. Why? Because this V8 basically weighs 115 kilograms less. It's a more compact engine. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, of course. It powers the rear wheels naturally. Now you're wondering about the V12. Well, the V12 is a 5.2-litre V12, and that produces 600 brake horsepower with 516 pounds-foot of torque, 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds, and a top speed of 322. So really, there's not that much in it. 0.3 of a second between this and that. This is the lighter car. So really, this is the one to go for. Really, a lot of interesting features. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I think this is Marek Reichman, who is the chief designer at Aston Martin. This is his best work so far, and I think of all the contemporary Astons, this one looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a big GT, low slung, wide, long bonnet. Got these amazing aero blades on the side, which actually are functional because they suck the air in through those sides and channel them out through the side. And also you have these intakes in the rear windows just there that channel the air through there and into a virtual spoiler at the back. So a really clever design, and it's got this huge one-piece clamshell bonnet at the front, and I think they had to actually go find somebody special just to be able to create that entire item. So it's benefited a lot from the association with Mercedes. This is actually the first car to come out of that collaboration with Daimler. Let me put this book away, and I'll check this out. This is actually, there's a button to close my center cubby box cover there, which is kind of bizarre, but there you go, that's what it is. Now, other things you will notice is the Mercedes influence in here, because this controller here is very Mercedes, and on here you've got a very Mercedes layout and look. For some reason there's all these blank off things here, but they have got the silhouette of the DB11 in there, which is quite nice. Also nice features are this DB11 in the headrest there. But if you go into the menus, if you go into say telephone, and then you go up and down, and you see all the same menu options that you would normally get in the Mercedes. But this stuff here is touchscreen, and the thing is with the Aston, it's like, unlike Mercedes, you know, you end up pressing them like, you know, 3 times. Because one time you press it and it doesn't quite work, and then you press it twice more, and then what you find is that actually it did work the second time, and then you've cancelled it the 3rd time. There's something about Astons that are just kind of like, well, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? There's a sense of, you know, hopefully it'll work, you know, is that sort of thing about it. But it's beautifully finished in here. This one is in this bizarre bluish purple leather interior with the red piping and this incredible stitching on the roof lining as well as on the seats. It looks magnificent. Full instrument digital panel here, which 2 digital sides which give you information, trip meter and all that, and in the middle you've got a center dial which gives you revs and speed, and that goes redder the sportier you get. So if I press the sport button once, and you may hear the same change in the sound. Just heard it go a little bit deeper there, and it's gone red on the inside of the dial. If I press it again, it goes red all the way through. And just to give you a couple of blips, sounds awesome. And this is it without sports mode. Still pretty good, but that extra burble, that crackle, you get in Sports and Sports Plus. So let's start off. Let's just take it for a little drive. Haven't had this car for too long. Whoa. Okay, it's got big old paddle shifts here as well. Just fixed actually to the steering column, which is a good thing. But quite large paddles, so you always can get hold of them easily. Now, it's a big GT, and it's got a mode for the suspension. I put it into firmer suspension, which I've left it in soft for around town, but it does get quite a bit tighter actually, and quite grippy as well. It's a big car though. You feel the mass. You do feel the mass. You do feel that, you know, you're steering quite a big GT around these corners, so you don't want to take too many liberties with it. Let's go into sports mode because it sounds better. But the gear changes are very, very good. No issues at all. Unlike Astons of old where there were some issues with the gear changes, this one is absolutely fine. Buttons on here, no lever, but that's okay, you get used to it. It's got 360 camera as well, so parking is not an issue. And actually it's very maneuverable in car parks. I was very surprised, a bit worried about getting it into my multi-story, but it's been no problem at all. So yeah, I mean, really responsive turning, and you know, yeah, a decent amount of, you know, there's some feedback as well from the steering. Grip is there. The poise is surprisingly good for a car this size. The speed is sensational. I mean, oh my God. And thankfully, the brakes, pretty stupendous as well. Could do with a little more bite right at the end there, but you know, the instant take up is pretty good, and they're reasonably reassuring. So go down into second gear for this corner, and whoa, bit of tight one. Yeah, you feel it loading up, but it's not really a problem. But yeah, I mean, tremendous car, really. Wow, and just listen to it. Absolutely extraordinary. What a great thing. I gotta say, this is, it's very easy to pick faults with a car like this. I mean, I could go through and I could highlight little things and stuff like that. But the problem is that you don't want to. Because here I am fulfilling my James Bond fantasies in a beautiful white Aston Martin DB11. And I think the V8 version actually is preferable to the V12. It's just lighter, more eager, and just as fast than anything else that you could imagine. And overall, I've had it for a couple of days. I've been driving it. I've been commuting in it, to be honest, because I had a couple of gigs I had to go and do. And it actually proved a very easy car to live with, you know, and very exclusive as well. Head turner, a real head turner. You still don't see, you see more Bugattis than you see these on the road in Dubai. So it's a bit of a head turner, and you get respect. This is the other thing I've noticed with this car, is that actually it's, people like it. It's not like, you know, people let you in. They don't cut you up. You know, they actually give you a bit of respect. I heard people waving. That's something a bit special, I think. So really, one more burst of it. Oh, wow. Absolutely tremendous performance from this beast. And it builds, you know, it doesn't like, it punches. So it's not like out of control. It doesn't punch and doesn't go like, whoa. It's like it builds gradually. So you always feel like you're in control. But a tremendous car. I think this is a massive step up from where Astons were, you know, just a few years back. I remember doing a review of the Vanquish some years ago and thinking that, well, you know what, it's long in the tooth now. This is a completely new platform, by the way. This is not them continuing to use the same old chassis and just tweaking a little bit. No, this is a new platform, and you can feel it. You can feel that they put a lot of work into this car, and that it is rather special. And I think that's the word of the day. It's special. Love it, hate it, pick faults in it, find fantastic parts of it, but overall, you cannot deny, you cannot dismiss, this car is special. And hey, I feel like James Bond. What else is there to say? I hope you enjoyed the review. There you go. Please leave your comments about the car and the review below and elsewhere. And do please follow us on motoringme.com and all the social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends to come and watch our videos. We do some great stuff on there. And you know what? Follow me as well. I'd love to see you there. Watch me fulfill my James Bond fantasies. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one.